I met a gypsy.
So how different is the Varg EX to the normal, like the first Varg?
I mean, it looks the same. There are quite a few differences. I mean, the frame is updated. It has more flex, better suited for enduro riding. Of course, it comes with an 18-inch rear wheel, which you can choose for the Varg MX as well. The electronics of the bike are more or less completely new to host the lights and a few other safety measures that aren't needed when you don't have lights. So more or less, electronics are updated. Completely new wiring harness that is the first one that is actually like these cables here, over molded. They look nice. If you look at wiring harness on a motorcycle, it looks like a piece of shit. Like, it's horrible always. Yeah. Even the best bikes. I don't know why. So we decided, let's make a wiring harness that is properly made, because it's one part is of course the design, but also the typical wiring harnesses cause so many issues. It's one of perhaps the most common cause of failure on motorcycles is that you have some corrosion or water in some connector, and takes you weeks to find it because it's impossible to locate. So instead, if you overmold everything, like there's nowhere water or dirt can get in. This is more of a, let's say, complete solution. It's more difficult to develop and produce, but once you have it, you have a better component. So I mean that was a big thing, and I'm really happy we did it. There's a new phone that is better integrated into the bike so that it works more, let's say, you never have to touch it if you don't want to. Like that is just like the electronics work better together. It has a built-in larger speaker so that you could make the bike sound something if you want. Of course, the new lights. We have the new silicone indicators that we developed, which we find pretty fun. And some new plastics, of course, bodywork. And what else is new?
Can you pull it up for us, Griff, on the screen? I haven't seen one yet.
Oh, really?
No.
You have to. We have to go ride.
No. I need to.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to get on one. Go to that bad boy. Because I mean, it does at first glance. It looks like very.
It's very similar for sure. But there are, I think, 120 new components.
Wow.
Yeah. So like you don't, when you look at it like this, you don't think so.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but it's a lot. That's, I don't know. That is not that is not the, I don't know who photoshopped that picture, but for instance, that has the wrong chain guide. That's from our website. That cannot be correct.
Go to the official website. And do you think that a lot of these components will eventually make their way back onto the MX bike?
Yeah, I mean, there will be an updated MX. I think it's quite far away.
Yeah.
But that will of course come at some point as well. So for instance, stuff like the chain guide is updated. It has much more vertical stiffness, so that will probably also be updated then for the MX.
And it has like a completely new.
Map
obviously,
switch,
you need the new map switch
Yeah,
for
and
it as well.
Yeah, what's cool, we routed now the cable inside the handlebar, so just like some small details like that, you don't need even if your cable is done nicer, you still prefer to not see it.
Yeah,
and you can't get stuck in branches, rip it off and stuff like that. That's really common as well. New handguards, it has been a pretty big project anyway.
That's bigger than I thought it was, to be completely honest.
Yeah, which makes sense. I agree. Like, come on, just put some lights on it.
Just chuck some indicators. It's already a battery. Like, how hard can it be?
Exactly. Yeah, but it's also like, how well do you want to do it? So, we could have just bought some aftermarket lights, put on it, and it would be, that could have worked. But we want to make a really good product. So then it takes a bit more time.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I always tell people as well when they ride one for the first time or, have that first experience. I was like, hey, this is the first iPhone. Like, just remember how shit the first iPhone was. Now, like, this is the shittest this bike is ever going to be, which is quite a scary thought for the future and just how good it will be.
Yeah, because it's already so good. I'm a bit biased.
No, I agree. But yeah, like just the room then, like the bike has to get better.
No, but it's completely true. I mean, if you think 10 years from now, they're going to be uncomparable. The development projects we're working on now, some really, really long term. I mean, our ambition is not to be, the best electric motorcycle manufacturer in the world. We want to be the best manufacturer of any electric drive unit in the world. Our ambition when we develop our next generation motors is that we have the highest torque density in the world, comparing all vehicles, and we want to be the best in everything. That's more inspiring, of course.
Yeah, well, it's something that as a company that
Yeah.
it's a lot more fun to work on a project
Yeah.
that has a goal that is that big.
Yeah, and I think that's like a self-fulfilling thing. If your goal is that big, then you inspire the best people. So it actually makes it easier to achieve that goal. So I think that we have such ridiculous ambitions has helped us to hire people that also have that. And, these are the guys that can make it happen. So, yeah, there's a lot of interesting things to come for sure.
What excites you the most, do you think?
Oh.
Like biggest picture possible.
That's building flying cars. Come on, that it must be the coolest
That's
thing.
still the goal.
I mean, think about if you could replace cars today. Like over 40% of all built surface is roads today. It's insane.
It is insane,
and that's all paid with the tax money, by the way. So you could reduce cost for society like incredible amounts. But also the fact, like especially here in California, like there's so much traffic. You could reduce the average drive with 90%, and you create a better experience. You fly at 300, 500 meters altitude, which would be an amazing view up there. No bumps in the road. Well, maybe some air bumps, but but I mean that's more like maybe in the future. It's not certain that we will do that. But I think short term, something that really excites me is the innovations project that we work with. I think something that we talked about it before, but we want to bring 3D printed titanium into mass production. That is really something that I'm sure will happen. Actually, it has happened. We are today producing foot pegs in our factory with titanium 3D printing for mass production.
And I've used them. I can vouch for them.
Exactly. Yeah, but the foot pegs is like a simple thing, and now we get powder in the door and we get foot pegs out with the bike on the other, which is pretty cool if you think about like a short, efficient value chain. But the next step is to produce big components. Think about like more or less everything that is steel. A lot of things that are aluminum can be titanium, and a huge reduction in weight. Like you can make components much less than half the weight, which is that can change the game, right?
Yeah.
So the challenge is how do you make that efficient? You can do it and the bike costs $1 million. Few people can afford it. So how do you make it so that people can afford it? It's still going to be premium, but if you can do that and produce thousands or at least hundreds per year at a decent efficiency, then you can really. I think that's gonna for the premium automotive market. Not just motorcycles, but that is the future. I think we see it. Like we will probably see it in supercars more and more. You see it in Formula One, of course, but that I believe will happen, and I think we will do a lot of stuff already this year.
Yeah. So what's the process of 3D printing titanium? Like how big is the printer? Like what's the materials like that are used?
So the printer that we have in our factory is like 4 meters tall. It's huge. It's like a building.
Jeez.
Yeah. So we can print something. I don't remember the exact build size, but it's like millimeter 650, 650, 650, and then you can print anything in that.
So a 4 meter machine.
Yeah, exactly.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but there are bigger ones as well. So you can you can print the whole frame like in one piece. That is pretty cool, and it's just gonna get better and better. But there are different technologies. You can say that in general there are two main technologies. One is powder bed fusion, which is you put a layer of like titanium dust where the particles are between, let's say, a 20th of a millimeter in diameter to a 10th of a millimeter in diameter. So it's like a powder, and you put a layer that is roughly 0.1 millimeters. It can be a little bit less, a little bit more. And then you have a bunch of lasers that melt it, like, and then you put on one more layer, you melt it again.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, for instance, like, I don't know if you've seen, but we made a titanium axe and a titanium sword.
Yeah, I did see.
Yeah, it's not just because we like weapons, but it's
you
also...
are a Viking.
Exactly. But it's also to learn about the production method. So if you take... can we put up the Stark Klinga just to show it? Stark Klinga, Klinga. Yes.
I missed out on mine. I was trying to get 45.
I will get you one. I will make sure that we get you one.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, of course.
We're building a wall up here, and I'll just put it up on the wall.
Let's see if we can get a picture of it.
Just go like fast forward to where there's like a picture, like a full blown.
I think if you go back,
dude, they look so badass.
It's pretty cool.
Go back, Drew.
I think a little bit earlier. There we. There should be a picture of like the whole thing standing. Maybe in the end of the video. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
So
that is wild that that's titanium printed.
Yeah, in one piece. So this is about 65 centimeters. And
so that's using the full capacity of the machine, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So that's about 6,000 layers. So imagine that, like you have to have some. It takes some time, of course. You can do several at the same time. You just
because of the width.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's so it kind of gives you an idea about. You can do any single shape with this, more or less, and that creates so much opportunity. Look at a steel frame today. Like, it's so limited. It's made of tubes that have the same wall thickness all the way through. You bend them, you weld them to some other tube, maybe a pressed plate. Like, it's the same technology that we have had for 100 years.
Yeah.
So it's time to do something better.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.